Good morning. Instead of recording a meditation this morning, I'm going to read a short story to you. I hope you enjoy it. It's called The Still Small Voice that lives in the heart of everyone. One Sunday morning, I received the guidance that I should write about the still small voice. Sometimes the tasks the universe gives us seem difficult, and for me, this was one of those times, and my first attempts ended up in the waste paper basket. I kept persevering though, because I knew it was important that I write about it, especially at this time when we all must connect to it, our own inner guidance. For to rely on the guidance of others limits us from stepping into our own mastery and stops us from acting as the wonderful light beings that we are. So I asked Archangel Michael to surround me with light, to create a space of high vibrational energy in which to work and connect. And there I sat in the early hours of the morning in August at my computer, endeavouring to bring forth what God wanted me to write about. And so I began, the still small voice. Write about me, said the still small voice. Write about me. But how do I do that? I replied. I don't know how to express what you are, for you are everything and nothing at the same time. You live in my heart, in everyone's heart. You are limitless. Write about how to find me. Write about how to find me. I pondered the question, how did I find it? When did that happen? Did it only happen recently? Or was it eons ago? Have I always been connected but shut it out? What shut it out? What smothered the sound of a still small voice? When did I stop listening to it and being guided by it, and why? These are the questions that arose immediately in my mind. Is the still small voice my conscience? I suppose some call it their conscience, but it seems much more because when I connect to it and listen to it, the door of my heart flings open wide, and I feel such love for everything and everyone. Such is its effect on me. To hear it, I have to be very quiet, like listening to the dead of the night when nothing moves and you can hear the beating of your own heart. The quiet you feel at sunrise or sunset when a hush settles over the land. Or perhaps it is heard in the peace and tranquility you feel when you sit and gaze into an open log fire. What shuts it out? What stops it from being heard? Mostly is noise, not the noise of the traffic or the noises around me in the outside world, but inner noises, the noises in my own head, the noise I call thinking. I notice my thoughts are very loud and very busy, always telling me what to do, giving me opinions that make my emotions soar, giving me things to worry about, sometimes things to be excited about. The noise in my head, my thoughts, are a constant babble. And for eons I've looked upon them as intelligent thinking. I have learned it is simply a computerized memory pattern relaying to me all my belief systems applicable to each situation that I find myself in. It is full of my private world and agenda. It holds my perspective on life. And if I let it govern my actions, my life becomes bound and is limited. The still small voice is the same in everyone. It holds everyone's welfare in mind. It speaks for the good of all. It is often a knowing that arises in our heart, a knowing that grows and fills out our very being and sets us on a course of action that is for the benefit of all. Or when it operates through us, we are part of the all. It's only been our private world and agenda that separates us from all that is. So for me now, I've asked the Master, my guides and higher self to help me turn down the volume of the noise in my head that I call thinking, for have seen also that all these thoughts are always about the past or the future and never about the present, and keep me from being in the now. And it is only in the now that I can connect to the still small voice. I find listening brings me into the now. So I practice as often as I can remember to listen to the sounds around me, the sounds of his creations, whether they be the rattle of my teacup, the sounds of my footsteps, or even the sound of my own voice. For when I do this, such a peace descends upon me. For gone are all my worries, as my worries existed only in my thoughts and my attachments to how I felt and how I wanted my life to be. And I have realized now that it is only my private world of thoughts that keep me separate from the still small voice and you. For when I let my thoughts go, there is only stillness and peace, the same stillness and peace that is in you. And now in this peace and quietude, a knowing is growing in me that no longer can be denied. Same knowing that is growing in you and guiding us into being the beautiful light beings that we are. Such is the power of the still small voice. Thank you. I hope you enjoyed the story of the still small voice.